Hello, good evening to you all. Today is 15 January 2025, which marks the beginning of our week 15 of this 6-month virtual internship. Like always, we start by showing our outlines. That is what we are to cover for the entire week. So, in this week, today we're going to have a recap on what we did on week 14, and we're also to round up Power BI today. Round it up around Power BI. And today we'll have introduction to SQL, and I'll take you through how to install or download, how to download and also install SQL Server. So I'm going to take you through that. So downloading and installation, I think is part of what we are going to discuss. I try to uninstall my own so that I will show you how to install yours. So, but it's just kind of not doing it. It's taking some time, but I'll see what I can. And we'll have question and answer conclusion, and then we call it a day. So if you can recall last week, we round up DAX. That's what we did last week. So after rounding up of DAX, then uh, we talk about data visualization. We move to that, where of course we discussed about how to create a dashboard, and we develop a dashboard last week together with you. You saw it, you see how we can do it. So I don't want to go back to Power BI again. Yeah, of course there are lots to it. There are many things, and yeah, we can do a lot in that. We can go back and keep learning it. But what we have done is kind of okay to me. Uh, is something that I believe you can build on it, and you can continue furthering or enhancing the knowledge. Because one thing I all want you to understand is some of you might think maybe after these 20 weeks, maybe you are done with learning, or maybe you are done with all this. No, that's not how it works. All these tools, most of this that I'm just discussing to you, I'm talking about it, and this, as you are seeing, some it's been years of me working with them, more than 10 years, 12 years, 15 years. So it's not yesterday I learned them, and I'm always, every day I'm learning them, every day. I'm learning them because there is always upgrade. There is always something new. There is always something you need to do. And one thing about all these tools, if you never did a work related to something, it is you don't even know it. Once you didn't work with it, because sometimes work will challenge you. So something will come up. That's when you realize that, yeah, I know this and I can try this and I can do this. So it's not like I'm going to teach you everything. It's not like I'm going to teach you all. Maybe when we are done with this, you are done, you will start bragging, you will start feeling that, okay, you are done with the knowledge. Even me, I'm not done with it. So please take note on that. Uh, so for this Power BI, just I'm just rounding up this Power BI. So I want you to keep working with it, to keep practicing with it, so that you'll understand more about it and understand what you can do with it, especially what we discuss. I know I do justice to it, right from how to load the data, we process the data, we clean it together, show you how to do all the things. I even show you, even taking you through the what do we call it, through the interface of the entire Power BI. We also come and start discussing about the DAX. We touch some of the things related to DAX, calculated measures and calculated columns. I just show you that. So please try as much as you can to practice that. And last week we did the visualization. Go ahead and create yours. Yeah, we didn't touch some of the visuals that I wanted us to do that, especially the filters. I wanted us to talk about the filters. I also wanted us to talk about the navigations and other things. But it's something that, believe me, if you work very hard and you work with it, learn what we have done so far. All this is something that will come flow from you. You can do it. It's not something that we need to say that we are going to work with it. And your class is not going to take much time today. I still have another class for women in IT. So that why we are holding this class 8. This is the first time I think in my life holding a class by 8 p.m. They're the first time. So yeah, I want to see that we try our best in this remaining 5 weeks to see that we covered the SQL because it's part of what I want us to cover. And after the SQL, we have a week that we are going to cover presentation. That is the PowerPoint, the data sharing and reporting. I know that, and we're going to discuss that. So you all learn how to create your slides, how to create the reports, how to create narration, how to do other things, and the rest. So it's something that I'm going to take you through. So over this, I can say 4 weeks, excluding this one maybe. So we are going to be talking about the SQL. SQL is just kind of tricky, but I'm going to take you through it from the beginning. I don't want to rush because one thing about all this, I prefer to teach you little, solid, something that is very little, but it's in a way that I believe you understand it, no matter how small, than for me to fool you with much things that at the end of the day, you too, you cannot tell what you learn. So it's not that I want you to have something reasonable, something that even if we pass it, since it's not the end of the knowledge, you can go back and learn it and you can go back and continue all that. Even the Excel, we didn't do much there, but when I did the webinar on its one function and formula. I know I'm speaking to some of you. I know some of you are there with me till the end. So you are just developing on what you learned there, you continue. But some of the people that are not, that they don't have the skills or the knowledge that you have, they're just looking at like we are speaking Chinese or something like that. So this is it. So Power BI, we are going to stop it here, but that's not the end. I told you, even Excel, we didn't finish it. We stopped there. So all this, I try to do justice. I try to give you the employability skill that I believed you can work anywhere with the tool. You can work anywhere. So after that, if you want to continue, knowledge will never, you can never reach the peak of the knowledge. So please keep learning, and keep kind of advancing your knowledge. Okay, so we'll have introduction to okay, so this is the rounding up. I even create slide on this. Okay, Power BI, bye bye. Uh for now, for this 20 weeks of Baze University internship. So bye bye for that. So you see this internship, this is how it started. We started with one, we are week 15 now. I am just seeing it as it's kind of, I don't even know, but yeah, that's life. So let's continue. So SQL, some of you maybe might be the first time you are hearing the name SQL. It can be the second time, it can be, you know, but this is a structured query language. That's the full meaning of what? The full meaning of SQL, structured query language. That's what SQL means. SQL is a programming language on its own, but it's normally a database programming language that it is used to communicate or to give computer commands, to ask computer what to do based on the language you write. That's what SQL is all about. So computer understand SQL language. Whenever you hear programming language, let me explain this to you. Whenever you hear programming languages are languages that computer understand. They are the languages that computer understand. What we are doing now, computer is not understanding anything you are doing. Computer cannot understand what do we call it? Any other language that we are using now, all the A, B, C, D that we are using, the other languages, maybe Alipum Baone from Arabic, and any other thing that you might think of, computer is not understanding that. The only thing computer is understanding is zero and one. Zero and one is the only thing computer that knows. That all what computer knows. That's why some of you that did a binary or that have knowledge of binaries and whatever, that's the only thing computer is seeing anything. So anything to computer is either zero or one. That's all. Anything to computer is either zero or one. It's either zero or one. So these programming languages are the languages that are used to interpret all this that we are using on computer. It interprets it to computer that this is what we want, and computer will give us what we want. But computer is understanding zero and one. But such languages will reveal something different to us, not what computer is understanding. That's why you are seeing when you write Ahmad on your keyboard, you see Ahmad. In computer, it's not Ahmad. That's why when you use binary to crack the code Ahmad, it will give you a long 1100001111 whatever. Because that's what computer understand. But you are seeing Ahmad. Or maybe you write your essay, or you create an image, or you create a software, or you create whatever you created. Computer is seeing something else, and you are seeing something else. So it's like we are communicating with computer in uh, a language that it understands, and that word is called a programming language. So SQL is a programming language on its own that is used to communicate to computer. It's a command, it's a structured query language that we ask computer to do something. Now, as you see, we did DAX in SQL. In Power BI, we did DAX. You see, in DAX, we just put this is we just write it, press enter, it just do it for us. So SQL is the father of the DAX. It's like that's where DAX drive its origin because it's a command that in SQL, all you need to is to give the computer a command, and computer will go ahead and execute the command for you. Just write the codes. Computer will just go ahead and do it for you. So that's what SQL is all about. And I believe from today, you understand what SQL is all about. Okay, secondly, why SQL? Like I told you, SQL has to do with database. It has to do with a database. Anything data, it has to do with that. So the language is used to communicate with data or to ask data to do something, to write a command for the data for it. So why you need SQL? SQL is faster compared to other tools for data programming and other tools for data processing. SQL is faster. In Excel, if I want to maybe find out or have an insight about a particular data, maybe let's say the data with 300,000 rows, or let's say 1,000,000 rows. I need to write the formula, I need to copy, press enter, it will run. And in SQL, any command that you want to give in SQL, within second, it will do whatever you want it to do for you. So I want to know some people, for example, I want to know people that are from this state that are collecting this particular salary from this particular department, from this, from that. All I need is just go ahead and write a command. It's just one single line or two lines or three lines. Once I write it and press enter, it will not waste my time. Within 1 second, it just give me the answer. That's all what SQL is about. That's why it is used for when you want to process a big data with 200 or 1 billion rows. You use SQL for that. So understand this. That why it's bigger. That why all this Excel that you are using, don't worry, it's just for novice. It's just for people that what can I even say it? It's just for Nigerian use. I can say it, or people that doesn't have big data. But if you are dealing with big data that comes in hundred of millions of rows, that's what I'm speaking about. I'm not talking about all this 2 gig. No, I'm talking about zettabyte data and whatever. So we were talking about that when you need SQL for that. That's where SQL will comes in. So when you write a query line, SQL will go ahead and execute it for you, and it will do the work for you. You don't need to do anything. Another thing about SQL is that apart from being it very fast and whatever, is something that if I write a code, for example, that can do something, and I want to, I can write all the codes now and send it to someone. Someone can run it anywhere in the world. Someone can use it. Someone can do what I did, and someone can still do that from wherever he is. And also in SQL, unlike Excel and Power BI, you are not going to see the data. You are not going to see the data. You only see the result. So you are connecting with different tables, and all you need to is just to see the result of what you want. It will just keep fetching the data for you, and I'll show you how you can even save the result. So you can save what you have done after the executing of the query. So that's another thing that you SQL has, and also in SQL you can use it to connect with different databases. So you can connect it, and let me tell you, almost all these websites that you are seeing, all these big companies and all ever, they are using this language, all of them, even though there are other updated languages, SQL languages, but still, they are still derive their source from SQL, and most of their commands are related and similar to SQL commands because it's the father, and that why all the commands derive their origin from it. And even some of the Excel functions that we are dealing with, they derive their origin from SQL commands. So don't worry, even in SQL, we are going to talk about average, we are going to talk about minimum, maximum, concatenate, all these functions that you learn, we're going to know how to write the commands related to such, uh, you know, uh, functions, and also in that. So that's SQL. So SQL can do a lot and is very faster, efficient, universally accepted. Everywhere you go in the world, you might find yourself somewhere that needs your expertise in SQL for you to help them or to do something for them. And I decided to teach you this because it's just a compliment to you, so that when you have SQL, you work with it. But it's difficult for you to find to work with SQL in Nigeria. But I'm not saying you cannot work with SQL. You might find yourself somewhere that you need it and work with it. And I told you, even this Power BI and that we discussed, I told you, it's difficult sometimes to find where to work with Power BI. Most of the organization, most of the ministries, and some of them are what they are using. They are using, they are using, what do we call it? They are using, uh, Excel to do their things. But despite that, you learn this, you have it in your skills and your expertise and experience. It will help you one day, believe me. Okay, so that's it. That's it for the SQL. I think we did justice and we did introduction to it. And don't worry, since we SQL is like Power BI, we can also connect we are going to install a database today. We are going to install database. You see, we will have our own database. Since we don't have any online database to connect with and write our codes, now we will download our own database, use the database, create our own data. I'll take you through all that. Don't worry about yourself. I'll teach you how to create a table, how to create columns in the table. In Excel, you need to write serial number or whatever. Then you put all borders. You just increase the width, the height, and whatever. In SQL, all you need is to write a command telling it, okay, SQL, please create these type columns for me. Go ahead and create this so column, so column, so column with so data type. Go ahead and do it for me. SQL will just go ahead and say, okay, it just create it for you within 1 second. If you want to delete it, just ask SQL, please drop it for me. I don't need it anymore. SQL will just delete it for you. You want to insert data, SQL will just go ahead and put whatever you want to put in it. So SQL is kind of is very very okay, and you'll find it awesome to work with. And I wanted to us to work with SQL before Power BI, so that the way I did it in the 2024 boot camp, we finished Excel, then we did SQL, then we go to Power BI because so that whenever we want to process our data or clean our data, you will take it to SQL, clean it, analyze it, do whatever you want, come to Power BI and just start creating the visualization. And this is what I want you to start doing. You can do the data entry there in Excel. You can do the data cleaning, processing, and whatever. You can do data entry with Power, Excel, Google Form, ODK, Comcare, do whatever you want there. You can come to SQL, clean your data, process it, do whatever, analyze it, do whatever you want. You save it, then you go back to what do we call it? Then you go back to Power BI, you create your visualizations and whatever. All this is very, very uh okay, it's very, very good. But don't worry, it's something that I want you to just learn how to do all this in all the tools. So it's only Excel. Okay, one thing about SQL, you cannot create data visualization in it. Understand this. No data visualization. That's one of the thing about SQL. You can't visualize the data, but we can process it, we can enter it, we can analyze it, but we cannot visualize the data, unlike Power BI and Excel that we did. So after saying all this, I think we can continue, we can move. So let's go ahead and see how we can download SQL Server. I told you we need a server for us to use the SQL. So we are going to look at the server, how to download the server, where to download the server, how to do the installations. Let's see what we can do. Okay, let's go. So I'm stopping my sharing my screen. I'm trying to uninstall. Okay, here it is. So I want to uninstall my server just for the purpose of this. But don't worry, I'll open my this so that I'll take you through all this before it's finishing uninstalling itself. Okay, let me see. Seriously, it will take some time, but let me see before I share the screen so that when we start installation, you all follow along and you see how I did it because I want you to learn how to do it. Also, so that you will be ready to start writing your queries. So just give it some time. Don't worry. I'm sharing back my screen. I'm sharing back my screen so that we continue with how to install it. Okay. So here it is. I believe you can all see my screen. So for you to download SQL, you need two things. You need SQL Server Management Studio, that is SSMS. You need it on your system, and you also need SQL Server on its own. So this is the studio management. This is like a desktop software, and this is the offline server that we are going to use. But let me say this to you. What we are going to learn, or what you are going to learn, you're going to learn how to write the query. I cannot teach you how to write the queries just out of the blue without using the software or the server, or without writing it by yourself and seeing the result. So we are using this server and whatever to connect and use the query to write our queries. What I want from you is that don't get afraid. Anywhere you find yourself working with SQL, or you are asked to write SQL queries, this that you have learned is the SQL queries. Just ask them to give you the space. Keep writing it. Even if you are using online, what do we call it? Even if you are using online server and whatever, just write the queries. It will do it for you. So that's it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, so for the SQL, for the SSMS, I'm dropping the link. Check the link in the chat, and I'll also drop the link in the under the description of this video for those of you that are not with us. So I'll also drop the link there for people to kind of take it. So for this server, I dropped the link. This is what you need. Please go ahead on this server. They updated it around 11/12/2024. So that's the last update. So please click on this download SSMS. Just click on it. Once you click on that download, it will bring you here. You see, we have this SQL Server Management Studio 20.20, version 20.20. So at the time of videoing this or recording this class, you see we have this. So the last update release date is, sorry, is even July 9, 2024. So it can be when you are watching the video, they are updated it. Please go ahead and use that. Yeah, it's kind of work the same with my SQL, but my SQL is is a like what can I say? It's not the SQL uh it's not the SQL language on its own. But yeah, my SQL, if you have the server of my SQL, if you have it installed, maybe you have XAMPP, WAMP, LAMP, and all such studio, if you have them, go ahead and you can still use it. But I want you to follow along with this SQL Server Management Studio. I want you to follow along with this. Yeah. Okay. So click on download. So I'm clicking on download. Then when you click on this download, you see this is what it's going to show to us. Just click here and this is it. So I'm downloading it. So now it start the download. So let me see how long it take. I don't know how long, but the download is 473.203. So that's uh it's the size of the file, but it will not take much time. But let's wait and see. So the next thing you need is SQL's server. You need this server, and I'm dropping it. Also, I'm dropping the link, and I'll also drop the link in the description of the video. So when you come to this, just hover, just scroll down. Please, when you scroll down, you need to click on download now. Just click on download now. So when you click on download now, it will just go ahead and download this for you. Download this Express. Don't download the developer. Download the Express. Click on download on the Express. Just click here. And this one also will not take time. So let's wait and see how long this is going to take us. So let me just finish it on installing the studio so that we'll continue from there. I'm just trying to uninstall it like this. Okay, so I finish. So I have different versions. So let me uninstall another one because I have different version of it installed. I'm with you, don't worry, just we are still downloading the 400 of yes, yeah. We're still downloading it. Okay, I'm uninstalling it again. So I'm installing the version 19 because I have two versions. So yeah, before this finish, the installation is done. So it's at 6 minutes left. So yeah. Okay, I even have the setup, but the setup that I have is outdated. So I want to use the updated setup. So let's wait, but I still have the setup 473, 473. But what did I have it in the folder? 496. I think I have the setup. This is the setup. I don't need to wait for this to finish, but it's only 2 minutes left. I think we can wait since it's not that much. So let's wait for it to finish, so that we will don't have, okay, so I'm sharing back my screen. I'm sharing back my screen, so it is not taking longer. So where it is, so it's not that much, you see. So only 2 minutes left. So I'm downloading is for 73 MB. So it's not that much. So don't worry, it will just finish. 1 minute left. So yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know what I'm sharing. I'm not sharing my entire screen. But I believe you can see it. You can see what I'm doing. I know why I'm not sharing my entire screen. But can you see my screen now? You can see that we are on this thing. We are waiting for it to finish. Yeah, someone was saying if we already install it, you see, for the purpose of your class, I uninstall my own, and now you're asking me what if you have yours? Me too, I could have do that. I could have done that. For the purpose of your class, I uninstall myself my own, and I downloaded the updated one, so that we'll be on the same page. I don't want to maybe I'm doing something or it is not updated or something like that. But if you know yours, go to the date that they last released. If yours was installed after the last release, then you can allow it, you can leave it and use it. So just wait for the 1 minute to finish. That's what I believe I have. Well, let's wait. 1 minute 10 seconds. Okay, let me see how many minutes left. Okay, we have 20 minutes to go, so it's all okay. Okay, so here we go. So let me go to the folder. This is my program folder, and this is the file. Yeah. Okay. But why is it that this one is even has I don't know. This one is more size has more size than this one. So it's okay. Let me just copy them because let me just put them in one folder so that we can continue. So uh I don't want to install them there. I just want to create a folder here and call it let me call it SQL Server. Please put them in one folder. I'm putting mine in one folder. So before I start the installation, I put them inside C drive. So that's number one thing. So the first thing you are going to do is please right click on this. Just right click and run as admin. So we are installing this. So I'm going to show you that put them in the same folder. Put them in the same folder. So don't touch anything, just pull them. You see, it's going to show this to you. Don't touch anything, just click on install. And make sure your system has enough capacity because you know some of the uh, systems doesn't. Okay, sorry. Okay. So I'm installing it. As you can see, it's loading the package. It takes some minutes at least, depending on how fast your system is. So I don't know how fast the system is, how fast the network is. So let's wait. You see, it just start the installation. We all learn when we are I'm learning this SQL. Believe me, if I told you the kind of system I use, you would laugh. Don't worry, don't. You know, it's time. Time will come that you will have better one, but just keep using the one you have. Put it under ice or something like that, so that it will cool the system and you continue. Okay, so we are done with the installation of the SQL. We are done with that. So I'm going to search it here. So I'm sure I'm coming. So let me share back the screen. Let me stop this. Okay, so here it is. Just come here and just search for this. You see, we have this. You are going to see this SQL Server Management Studio. When you search for SSMS, you are going to see this. Just click on it. Now it's going to open the SQL Server Management Studio for you. So we are going to have this SQL Server Management Studio. So just hold on. It's going to open. Here it is. You see, this is exactly where you are going to see. And take note, if you put them together, like I said in the same folder, you're going to have something like this. Hammad, the Hammad is the name of my PC. So it's going to be Hammad forward slash SQL Express. That Express that I asked you to put in the same folder with it, you see, this is the SQL Express that it captures. So you don't need to do anything. It's going to show this to you. All you need to is to connect. Now, if I click on connect, it is going to connect with that SQL server. It's like I have online server, but it's offline server, that Express server that I have. So automatically now I'm connected. I'm connected automatically. So uh anything now that I want to do, you see, I have database. All these database that I have is just sample. This is the ones that I have before and the ones that I work with. Hammad, all these, this is the one I have. So it brings back the other ones I have. I told you I uninstall mine just to show you how to install yours. So these are the list of the databases that I have. And under each databases, you see I can find the tables that I have under each and the rest. So you see this one also, look at it. And you see I have this, I can find this. You see this, these are the tables I have under this Hammad. Look at it. I have tables finance, Hammad, Nigeria, salaries, tabs. You see under this also I have others under this. I have this. So all this is something that we are going to discuss about, and we're going to learn how to start writing all this, how to start creating this and the rest. So this is where we are going to stop today. Yeah, we also have 12 minutes to go. But yeah, this is exactly where we are going to stop here. And I think next week we're going to start writing the queries. We're going to look at it and we're going to continue one after the other. The queries are much, but I'll take you through it like we did in Excel, like we did in any other one step by step. You are going to keep learning it like that. So what I want you to do, no, don't install my SQL. My SQL is different from, I told you, my SQL, I think you use XAMPP, right? You use XAMPP or you use WAMP. Some of you that are using even Mac OS, you are using LAMP on whatever. So you don't need to uninstall my SQL. My SQL is for the relational database. You also know that. So please don't uninstall your MySQL. Leave your MySQL in your PC. But you can use this Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. And the reason why you see all this that we are using Microsoft tools. So we're using Microsoft company tools. Microsoft is supposed to give us award for doing this. We are teaching people their tools. SQL is this studio is for them. Power BI is for them. Excel is for them. The PowerPoint we are going is for them. So yeah, so don't uninstall your MySQL server, please. Leave that. That one you leave it. Continue your things with it, please. Okay, so we have like few minutes to go, and I think if you don't have any question, I'm going to end the class now because I have other set of people that we will have a class with them by 9, and I want to uh eat. At least I'm hungry. So I think I will just work on your video later in the day. I'll share the video with you, and I'll also drop all the link with you also. Okay, thank you so much. And I think we see next week. Please work on this, try to install it, make sure your system is ready and everything. You wait for that. That's all what I want to say. So see you next week and have a nice dream. Thank you.